Ah, tá, é aqui, ó. Deve estar pregando uma peça.
Good point. Why else would it use such a roundabout way to tell me its answer? Supposedly, everyone who's been pranked by the Seelie had angered it in some way. That means
Tá.
the Seelie is someone who's very strict and serious about knowledge. But who knows if it's really a Seelie or some person.
Bom, não tem garantia de que você vai conseguir uma resposta mesmo depois de fazer o que ela diz, né?
True. And if I don't get an answer, then I'll only have wasted more time. Oh, but there's nothing else we can do. It's the one holding all the cards. It's completely hidden and can choose whether to help us or not. After all, it'd probably be impossible to find it and ask my question in person.
Como assim agora isso parece uma boa ideia?
Huh?
Você tá encontrando,
I
quer dizer,
was
encontrar
just
ela de
kidding.
verdade?
Oh, please don't take me seriously. It's a Seelie we're talking about. According to legend, Seelies are elusive and can create countless copies of themselves. Who's to say that it won't summon a shooting star to crush us once we find it?
Você acredita nessas lendas?
Sorry, I'm just a little panicky.
Não tô te julgando, é só uma pergunta, moça. Calma.
Okay, Layla. Calm down and think. If the Seelie is a person, then there has to be a way to track them down. We have two possible leads right now. The first is the checkout logs of those two books, and the other is the red stamp. The red stamp bears the Retawahist emblem, which is used by a lot of people. It'll be hard to track down an individual, so we should probably start with the checkout logs.
Beleza, vamos começar por lá então, é mais fácil, né?
We can also ask around the House of Dana and see if anyone else knows something about the Wisdom Seelie. Hi there. Have you heard of the legend of the Wisdom Seelie?
Do I really look like the kind of student that would be interested in such a pointless legend?
Oh, I'm sorry. We were just curious.
Well, I do happen to have some information on it.
É porque eu não disse antes.
Huh? Logically, that has nothing to do with the question I asked. I just don't want others to see me as some poor excuse for a student, whiling away my time in the House of Dana.
I don't really think bad students would come to the House of Dana to pass the time. But anyways, you were saying?
Well, I spend most of my time here, and I have noticed something odd before. One time, late at night, a black shadow fell from above and landed in the central area of the House of Dana.
Ué?
Of course, I was a little sleepy at the time,
Como
but
assim?
it startled me, and I got up to see what was going on.
And then what happened?
Then, the shadow quickly circled behind me with incredible speed. Just as I tried to
Oxi.
turn around to get a look at it, I fainted.
Essa sombra parece bem poderosa.
Yes, it was unbelievably fast. I had never seen anything like it. It was so unusual that I wasn't sure if it was real or if I was half dreaming. But given how popular the legend of the Seelie has become lately, maybe this has something to do with it.
Don't take this the wrong way, but doesn't the House of Dana have a door?
It was closed that night. I suppose even the House of Dana needs to be closed for maintenance from time to time.
I see. That makes sense. But what were you doing here if the House of Dana was closed?
Don't look so surprised. It's a common practice to find a place to hide before they lock the doors, so you can continue reading books here. Everyone
Como
knows
assim?
that.
Não faz sentido não, mas isso não deveria ser comum, mas bom. Bom, ainda bem que não estou estudando com você. Consigo ver que você realmente me estressaria.
Anyway, thank you for the info. I'll be sure to take note of everything you mentioned.
You're welcome.
Hi there. Do you know anything about the Wisdom Seelie?
Yes, of course. I've been looking into it for quite a
Latifa.
while.
Eu tenho a impressão de que eu já escutei esse nome em algum lugar antes, mano. Latifa. Bom, enfim.
However, I feel like I'm still missing some key pieces of information. Hey, maybe if we put our heads together, we can figure something out.
Sure. I'll try my best.
There are a few known traits of the Wisdom Seelie. First, it's extremely strong. It can easily carry a few dozen books, along with 4 or 5 pieces of astrology equipment all at once. It's extremely athletic as well. It only moves in a straight line and doesn't stop for anything, not even walls or rivers. Lastly, it has a number of special abilities. It has a hardened metal body that's impervious to injury. It can freeze water into ice, and it can also summon meteors.
Ué, é a Outra Layla?
That doesn't even sound human.
Well, it is a
A Outra
legend,
Layla é um
after
super-humano?
all. It's no surprise that some details seem a little exaggerated. But these aren't just made up, you know. Each of its abilities has been confirmed by eyewitnesses. There have been many sightings too, including a Chatrakam cave, the Avidia forest, and around the waterfall south of Sumeru City.
Has anyone seen what it actually looks like?
Not that I know of. No one's been able to get close to it. It seems like it tries to stay out of sight. I would probably want to remain a mystery too, if I were someone as legendary as the Wisdom Seelie. So what do you make of it? Have you seen it somewhere as well?
No. We're probably gonna need some time to digest all the, incredible information you've provided us.
Not a problem. But if you manage to find anything, be sure to come and tell me about it. I trust that you'll quickly discover the excitement of slowly unraveling the truth.
Oh, hello there. Can I help you?
Hello. I'm a Ratawahis student and would like to see the checkout logs for theoretical astrology and a quick reference guide to astrology cases.
Oh, are you also here to investigate the Ratawahist Wisdom Seelie legend?
Já tem mais gente então?
I suppose it makes sense that we're not the only ones investigating such a popular legend.
Yes, I myself am also quite curious about it. But unfortunately, I haven't found anything out of the ordinary. Given you're a Ratawahist student, I'm sure you know that a lot of research references these 2 books. All our copies of these particular titles are frequently checked out. I have looked into it, but found no irregularities in the checkout logs.
Is there any chance the Seelie could have taken the books out and returned them without being noticed?
Not likely. That would be almost impossible. The House of Dana is extremely strict about the circulation of its books. There will always be a record if a book is checked out. And even if it managed to figure out a way to take the books without leaving any record, it's possible that someone would come looking to borrow the books before the Seelie returned them. If someone discovers that a book is missing or that it doesn't match my inventory records, it would come to my attention immediately. However, it might be possible to pull off in the case of a less popular book.
Okay, I understand now, thank you. This is useful to know. With any luck, it'll help us work out the Seelie's identity.
Tá. Mas eu não entendi muito bem ainda. Juntamos um monte de informação, mas tentar organizar, né?
Some things we heard were pretty straightforward, but others were just ridiculous.
Ridículas. Devemos ser capazes de descobrir mais sobre a sua identidade e localização.
Let me think and okay, calm down, Layla. I know the info's all over the place, but you can definitely do it. First, let's try to figure out the Seelie's identity based on the clues we currently have. Then, we'll analyze where it's been sighted and its motives. Finally, we'll piece everything together. From there, we should be able to predict its movement. Alright, let's give it a try.
Tá, hora de pensar, bora. Identidade verdadeira.
The stamp. Which probably means they're a Ratawahis student.
Local do avistamento. Lógica comportamental da Seelie.
Okay, I think I've got it now.
Ih, eu já entreguei, ué.
First, based on the information Katayun provided, we can assume that the Seelie is a student from the Ratawa's Darshan.
Isso aí é o mais óbvio por
The
enquanto.
possibility of it being someone outside the Darshan can be ruled out because it'd be impossible to gain access to those two books without going through the librarian. Next, leaving its crazy abilities aside, all the sightings took place in locations that are officially recommended for astrology observation by the academia. In other words, it's probably just conducting research, and the nature of its research is very similar to mine.
É outra Layla mesmo.
The question that I submitted was no simple query, but it was able to give me a reply in just a day. This implies that it's familiar with a similar field of knowledge. So based on this reasoning, all we have to do is wait for it at the next astrological observation site.
Seu raciocínio é confiável.
It's nothing, really. There are actually some other factors that I've been speculating about. But that's not important right now. Let's get going. Even though we have a lead, it's still hard to say whether we'll be able to make any discoveries. I'll tell you what I mean by that if the Seelie doesn't show up.
Eu tenho 7 dias pra fazer esse evento. Mas eu tô com uma preguiça tão grande. Nossa senhora. Eu não tô nem um pouco afim de ler a história dessa nova região, velho. Eu ainda nem terminei a elegia. Eu acho que eu vou rushar a elegia, mas não vou trazer mais vídeo de missão desse naipe não. Não vai rolar não, velho. Essa é a primeira e a única vez que eu vou trazer missão de mundo assim. Vou fazer isso mais não, mano. Muito chato.
But we don't really have any choice. This is all we've got. Get some sleep if you're tired. I'll be up. It's not like I could sleep anyways.
Vai ficar entediada se eu for dormir.
How about I share some basics about astrology with you? If you're interested, that is.
Ué? Que aquilo ali? Um aranará? Tem um aranará ali, mano. Até hoje eu não encontrei aqueles 76 aranarás.
Sure enough, it didn't show up.
Esse negócio ali... Ih, eu tô piscando aqui, ó. Isso aqui é outro? Outro ararará? Não!
We hardly saw any animals, let alone people. No matter how conclusive the evidence is or how perfect our reasoning may be, nothing will happen as long as I'm awake.
Você tá falando da Seelie ou da bênção das estrelas?
They're probably one and the same. It's like I told you. I have a severe sleeping disorder, and there have been a lot of rumors about me sleepwalking. I tried to understand what I had been doing when I'm unconscious, but I've never been able to get any definitive evidence. Something is actively attempting to cover up all the clues without my knowing. Maybe that something is me. Or maybe it isn't. I can't be sure. For all I know, I could even be the Seelie. But what if I am? Would the Seelie be willing to help me this time? What is it actually thinking? I really have no idea.
E se eu pudesse te ajudar?
You want to help me? Of
Quero.
course, it would be nice to
Quero
know
muito
what's
te ajudar.
really going on. But that's impossible. It's always avoiding me and keeping me in the dark. And that won't change even if you're around.
Vendo o quanto realmente ela quer saber, talvez devêssemos achar uma forma de perguntar a outra Layla sobre isso.
What's wrong?
Parece que voltamos de mãos vazias.
Yeah.
Subiu um coraçãozinho ali.
Working on my thesis this whole time. My stomach is churning just thinking about it.
Agora não dá mais tempo, moça.
Please stop. The more you talk about it, the more silly I feel.
Ai, desculpa. Não, desculpa.
Oh, come on, Layla. What are you doing? Everyone's gonna start thinking you're crazy now. Oh no. I'm losing it. So dizzy.
Meu Deus. Deu ruim?
Oh, I'm sorry. I got distracted there. Where were we?
Entendi. Se chega nos 5 corações, aí chega a outra Layla. Que da hora.
Oh, what's wrong? You look like you've got something on your mind.
Você é a outra Layla?
What are you talking about? What do you mean the other Layla? I am Layla.
De alguma forma você parece diferente.
Fine. It appears that you were waiting for me to show up. I suppose there's no use in me pretending. I promise I don't mean any harm and I'll answer all your questions. But before that, would you mind telling me who you are first?
Sou o amiguinho da Layla. Ajudar a acabar com a tese.
Okay, I got it. You two found this place by following the hints that I left behind. You were planning to wait for me. Or I should say you were waiting for the Seelie to show up. Was this your idea or hers?
Como assim foi ideia minha? Eu não pensei nada disso,
I see.
Não tô entendendo.
Yes.
Cadê a imersão?
She's always had great analytical skills. It'd be nice if she was more confident, though. All right. That's all the questions I have. Your turn. Please ask away.
Agora faz sentido, porque lá no evento ela falou assim: quanto tempo a gente não se vê, sendo que aquela foi a primeira vez que eu vi ela. Ué, você é a Seelie, né?
That's right. Though I didn't intend for it to turn out this way, really. I just wanted to help out a few other classmates who were having a hard time while I was helping Layla finish her thesis. You see, Layla doesn't have many friends at the academia. If the others noticed her helping them out, I thought maybe I'd help her become more sociable. Unfortunately, that didn't really work out. Instead, legends of the Seelie started going around. But that's alright.
Você se infiltrou na casa da Ena e os boatos de você ser super poderosa.
Infiltrating the house of Dana was a total accident. She'd forgotten an important book and the house of Dana happened to be closed at the time. There were only days before the paper was due. I had no choice but to scale the walls with some simple climbing ropes and sneak in from above while the corpse...
Caraca, a mina invadiu mesmo, velho. Ô, louco.
I had no idea there was still a student
Que do
inside.
nada.
I had no choice but to put him to sleep. Any clear evidence of my existence would only hinder my ability to conceal my identity. It would also expose me to Layla as well. As for the special powers, well, they're just things I did during the process of trying to finish the thesis. It's like I said, I don't have much time, so I need to be as efficient as possible.
Tá. Qual é da Seelie pregando peça nas pessoas?
I can instantly tell which students are asking serious questions and which are just trying to take advantage of me to slack off. My time to move freely is quite limited, so it's only natural that I would punish the people attempting to waste my time.
É justo.
My intention is to help people. I'm not here to cause any harm. Well then, does that answer all your questions?
Mais uma pergunta, moça. Por que você não quer que ela saiba que você existe?
You see, her emotions are incredibly unstable. She's constantly doubting herself. If she knew that there's another Layla who is capable of doing everything,
Isso
she may think even less of herself.
Do jeito que a coitada é toda insegura, se ela soubesse que tem uma uma outra Layla dentro dela que faz tudo 200% melhor é matar ela.
She could think, maybe I should just leave it all to her. I'm always relying on her anyway. Why not let her live my life for me? She might start thinking about giving up completely, and that's the exact opposite of what I'm trying to do for her. After all, she and I are one and the same. We're two sides of the same coin. No one knows her greatest strength more than I do. It's her resilience. If she's able to persevere in everything she does, then one day she won't need my help anymore. I trust that she's capable of doing that, and it's something that she should do on her own.
É, justo.
She actually discovered the key data she needs for her thesis a long time ago. She just didn't organize it well enough. I'll complete her thesis for her just as I have in the past. Oh, please don't share any of this with her. I would like to keep this a secret for both of our sakes.
Beleza.
Thank you for doing this for me. No, for us. She seems to be waking up now. Well, this is goodbye. If we never meet again, then I guess I did something right.
Tá. Acordou, coitada.
Did I faint? Or did I fall asleep?
Tô ouvindo barulho, mas eu acho que é aqui não. É, você só tirou um cochilinho.
Oh, I see. Was I sleepwalking? I was, wasn't I?
Acho que não. Não.
Really? I don't believe you. You're
Ué.
hiding something from me. It's written all over your face.
Não tô não.
You said you were gonna help me, didn't you? Why are you holding out on me now? Please tell me. You promised you'd help.
Para cumprir uma promessa feita a ela significa quebrar uma promessa feita por ela. Essa é uma situação delicada. Ah, que triste, cara. Tô me sentindo mal. Tô me sentindo meio mal. Obrigado, viu, jogo? Esse é o impacto do Genshin, deixar os outros mal. O outro tá lá no começo, meu amigo. Tá, eu tenho que descobrir qual é esse caminho aqui. Tá, eu acho que é esse aqui, ó. É arriscado demais confiar em uma lenda suspeita para completar sua tese.
You're right. I need to keep a level head. I don't have time to waste. But what do we do from here? I can't just go back and start packing to leave.
Você devia descansar primeiro.
Rest? But my deadline's just around the corner. I don't think I can afford to rest right now.
Você vai perder tempo demais continuar se esforçando assim.
You do have a point. Sorry. I tend to panic easily, as you can see. Then how should I rest? I definitely won't be able to sleep. As soon as I close my eyes, all kinds of thoughts start floating into my head.
Bora tomar um café.
Oh, that's a good idea. A cup of coffee might help clear my head. Let's go. Let's sit down here and have some coffee and sweets. It'll help me put my thoughts together. No, we're here to rest. My problems will have to wait for now.
Isso aí.
Oh, hey, Layla.
Vixe.
Huh?
Pareceu alguém já, para encher o saco.
I'm one of Layla's classmates. I just came by to say hi. We just submitted our theses and we're totally beat. Everyone will be meeting here to celebrate. Seeing how relaxed you look, you must have already had your thesis finished ages ago.
Oh, no, I'm actually having a lot of trouble with it.
You say that every time we talk, but you've never missed a deadline. Not only that, your papers are always well written and thorough. Your advisor is constantly praising your work. Yet you're always going around saying stuff like, I can't make it, I don't understand, I'm super worried. That kind of talk doesn't reflect your work at all, you know.
Well,
Pare imediatamente, pare.
For starters, she doesn't even try to participate with the group at all. It's one thing that she's not willing to help us, but she doesn't even bother showing up for our discussion meetings. Every time we come to see her, she looks out of sorts and on the verge of a breakdown. It's not like we can't finish our own theses without her, but no one wants to always see her this way.
I know.
Oh, droga, piorou.
Sorry.
Todos vocês têm suas próprias escolhas. Você não deveria aprender a Você deveria aprender a respeitar isso.
Whatever. There's no point in starting an argument here. If
Então
you
vai embora,
think
vai
she
embora,
can
vai embora.
justify
Show,
her
show.
behavior, then that's your opinion.
Thanks for standing up for me. I really want to help the others, but
Do nada, velho. Chega desgraçado aí pra encher o saco.
Demônio.
É porque você... É por você não querer que os outros saibam sobre a bênção das estrelas?
Yeah, I can't ever tell my classmates about that. I'd be a mess if they ever reported it to my advisor. It's really just a big misunderstanding, and there's nothing I can do about it. Everyone just gives me weird looks and judges me. It's making it really difficult to find friends. It's actually pretty rare for someone to actively engage in a conversation with me, like you do.
É porque eu sou um amigo de verdade. Essa é a diferença. Você acha que a bênção das estrelas é um poder externo que está fora do seu controle, e que a única forma de quebrar o ciclo é melhorando a si mesma e parar de depender do poder externo.
Yeah.
Justo.
That's exactly it. Seems you know just as well as I do. The thing is, I'm terrible under pressure. That's just my nature. Even the thought of everyone's expectations back home is enough to make me feel nervous. And the more nervous I get, the worse things become around me. Take what Munira just said, for example. I don't think I'll be able to get it out of my mind for the entire day. That means I won't be able to relax at all today.
Eu trouxe a coitada pra tomar um café e do nada aparece alguém pra encher o saco e piorou a situação. Que legal, né? Por que não tentamos encarar o problema?
Face it head on? What should I do? Do you really think I can?
Basta dividir as partes inacabadas e fazer uma por uma.
Okay. I've got a pen and paper with me. Let me go through them real quick. The theory sections are pretty much finished. I'll be able to finish organizing the rest on my own. As of now, I'm missing crucial observation data. I need the results of an observation to validate the conclusion of my thesis. And then there's the preparation for my thesis defense. I'll need to mentally prepare.
Não parece muito difícil. Deixa eu te ajudar.
What? You want to help me with my thesis? Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't even know how to show you my gratitude.
Tamo junto.
You're so kind. I had no idea I'd meet someone so nice in Sumeru City. Okay, I'll do my best. It's the least I can do, considering everything you've already done for me. First on the list is the experiment to get observational data. I actually had it all planned out several days ago and even borrowed a celestial globe from a Mahamada. However, the weather was rainy every single day after I borrowed it, and I was unable to compare the night sky against the celestial globe. There were a lot of people waiting to borrow the celestial globe, and I wasn't able to extend my time slot. So I returned it and haven't been able to borrow it again since. That's why I still haven't performed the necessary observations yet. I don't know what to do.
Você tá com falta de equipamento então, né?
That's right. The Celestial Globe is a high-precision device used specifically for researching the stars. Submitting an application to borrow one from the academia is pretty much the only way for me to get my hands on one.
Vamos na guilda perguntar sobre isso aí, moça.
Why the Adventurers Guild?
Ninguém tem uma rede de informação igual a Caterine. Já que ela é um robô, né?
The Adventurers Guild is open to everyone's commission, so she might have some ideas. Okay, let's go and try our luck.
Ad Astra Episosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. How can I help you today?
I'd like to... I have a commission... it's kinda strange. How should I put this? Right. Equipment at the academia is in very high demand, and we aren't able to borrow one now. We were hoping someone else might have something similar that we could use.
I don't know anything about astrology, so I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with the device you are looking for. However, one of our requesters happens to be an astrology enthusiast. I hear that he's a collector of all sorts of specialized astrology equipment. After the Adventurers Guild helped him out, he indicated that he'd be happy to return the favor if the adventurers ever need it. Perhaps we could arrange a meeting between you two. That should help solve your problem.
Really?
Beleza.
You're welcome. It's my job to provide adventurers with the necessary support. The man's name is Azam. Here's his address. You can go ahead and pay him a visit.
Hello, are you Azam?
Yes, I am. How may I help you?
Senhora Azanza.
Ah, I see. Well, if it's a request from an adventurer, then I'll be happy to help you. I just so happen to have the device that you're looking for. Let me fetch it and show you, just to be sure.
Yes, this is it. Thank you so much.
Ó, que bicho, equipamento bonitão.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just got a little excited. Please go ahead.
To be honest, judging by what stands before me, I find it very hard to believe that you're an astute Ratawahist student.
Coitada.
Astrology is a hobby of mine, and these devices have cost me both time and mora to collect. I cherish them as if they were members of my own family, which is why I don't let just anyone borrow them on a whim. These devices are delicate and can easily be damaged if used inappropriately.
Oh, that's completely understandable. What can I do to better gain your trust?
How about this? I don't need a deposit or anything, but I'd like you to share the contents of your research with me. I'll ask you some questions. If your explanation proves satisfactory, then I'll lend you the device.
Share the contents of my research and answer questions?
Não precisa ficar nervosa, é só você explicar o que aprendeu.
Alright, I'll try. But I can't disclose the actual details to you. How about a general overview of the research? Would that suffice?
Yes, that would be fine.
You're probably aware that astrologists rely on the movements of celestial bodies to calculate the past and the future, as well as attempt to summarize the correlating principles, correct?
Of course. This is the basic principle of astrology.
My current research is about a certain phenomenon called astral shift.
Interesting. That's not a topic any ordinary person would be familiar with. I have a basic understanding of the concept, but I'd like to hear you explain it.
Okay. Well, in short, it means that the results derived from astrology are prone to change. As time continues to flow, the stars change and everything else becomes affected by this change. However, what's actually driving the change is what's worth investigating.
I think that it might just be another law of nature.
Pode ser também.
If the changes follow a certain pattern or routine, then it could be explained as some law. but the changes are manifold, even when considering just a single star. The changes could be resulting from a simple single orbit shift, or it could be a more complex double orbit, or even a triple or quadruple orbit shift. These phenomena have a dramatic effect on astrological conclusions. What I'm working on now is the research and prediction of the triple orbit shift phenomenon.
Triple orbit? By yourself?
Yes. That's right.
You do know that adding an extra star to the equation increases the computational workload by more than 10-fold, right?
It does get a little complicated, but it's still manageable with the use of a few self-invented techniques and a large number of star logs and star charts. Which leads us to why I'm in need of a high-precision celestial globe.
Amazing. I suppose I should never have judged a book by its cover. I thought you were just trying to half-heartedly deal with some school assignment.
É justo, né? Ainda bem.
Do I really
Faz
look
sentido.
like that sort of person?
Coitada.
Don't worry. I'm just joking. I was a little cautious at first, but now I trust you completely. It would make me extremely happy if my collection could assist a researcher in achieving tangible results. Just make sure you return it to me once you're done.
Oh, thank you so much. I really needed this. Good thing Azam was willing to hear me out.
Eu não entendi o que você tava falando, mas mandou bem.
Really? I was just explaining what it is I'm trying to do.
Você tá mostrando sinais de que vai virar uma ótima pesquisadora.
Really? I don't know if you really mean it, but I'm happy to hear that. I guess even the hardest problems can be solved as long as I'm willing to try. Recording and comparing data will be much easier now that we have this device. I can do it all on my own, too. Let's continue with the plan. Can you help me with the rehearsal of my thesis defense? We can do that at the house of Dina. This seems like the best spot to do this. We'll need to be quiet so we don't disturb anyone. So here's what will happen during my thesis defense. After I present my thesis, the advisor sitting below will begin to ask questions. Theoretically, I should be able to answer any questions related to my thesis. However, I tend to get really nervous when my advisors look at me, and I end up completely forgetting what I plan to say. That's why I want to rehearse and practice presenting my points in front of someone.
Então eu sou tipo uma orientadora, né?
That's right. You should have gotten the gist of the content of my thesis when I was explaining it earlier. So ask away. It's okay if your questions are a little off. I'll still treat them as real questions from an advisor and answer seriously.
Beleza.
Wait a moment.
Ué.
Alright, Layla, you got this. You were able to explain everything earlier, so you can do it again. Alright, ask away.
Parece que você escreveu baita texto. Uma pena que não vou ler nada.
Apesar de alguns retroços aqui e ali, ela consegue falar.
We're finally done. I'm gonna need more practice. I can feel myself getting flustered, and I start to stumble whenever I'm asked questions that I'm unfamiliar with.
Sua lógica pode melhorar, mas a... Quer dizer, sua apresentação ainda pode melhorar, mas a lógica é impecável.
Oh, really? You mean it? Then this practice must be helping. During my first thesis defense, I stood like a statue on the stage and my palms were covered in sweat. I couldn't get a single word out.
Então, tá beleza?
I didn't even realize it, but you're right. It doesn't seem like there's anything holding me back now. I guess that means I'm capable of completing the thesis all on my own. I can hardly believe it. This is amazing. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just that I'm really excited. This is the first time this has happened, really.
Bom, você
I'm
trabalhou.
so happy.
Bom, você trabalhou muito pra chegar a esse ponto, então não precisa mais depender das outras pessoas. Oh, diminui 2 corações?
I'm not sure how to put this. I'm really happy about everything that's happened, but I'm also feeling a little sad. I still don't know anything about the blessing from the stars. Will it never happen again since I don't need its help anymore? That somehow makes me feel a little lonely.
Solitária?
Yeah, it almost makes the blessing feel like it was just a tool used for my studies, no? But I would really like to discover what the blessing actually is, if I ever get the chance. I want to express my
O dia que ela
gratitude for
descobrir.
it, or better yet, maybe we could be friends. That's basically how I feel about it. Even if I know nothing about the blessing, I could still feel its companionship all along. It's almost like how you helped me. I really cherish and appreciate it. After all, it wouldn't be right to take such blessings for granted in our lives.
Eu acho que ela também tá feliz.
That's good.
Ah,
I hope it's a little more satisfied with the way I am now.
oh, nice! Naturais e incríveis. O desfecho desses fenômenos permanecerá em suas memórias por um bom tempo. Eu não sei se é isso aqui que eu tenho que perguntar, mas vamos ver. Você conhece a Grande Máquina?
Huh? No. What is that? Is this something that I didn't prepare for at all? You've gotta be joking. About this question.
Vixe.
I'm sorry. I'm not feeling very well. Everything is spinning.
Ih, lá vem. Lá vem a outra Layla.
I'm sorry. I haven't been sleeping very well lately. I tend to get dizzy from time to time, but don't worry, I'm fine now.
Eu ativei a outra Layla.
What's wrong?
Estou esperando você responder minha pergunta.
Oh, sorry. Can you please repeat the question? I didn't hear you clearly just now.
Você fala muito diferente da Layla que eu conheço.
Alright. I guess the cat's out of the bag. Of all the times to wake up. You're Layla's friend, right? And from the looks of things, the two of you are preparing for her thesis defense?
Isso.
With her long-term sleep deprivation, whenever her anxiety peaks, she loses consciousness and I take over. However, her unpredictable and varying sleep patterns are completely out of my control, so I have to make every second count. There's no one willing to help her here, so I have to step in. I am rather curious about you, though. Why are you trying to help her?
Bom, ela finalmente decidiu enfrentar os problemas com a sua tese e está trabalhando muito nisso.
Really? That's great. You're helping with all the things that I used to do for her. Seems like you've given her a boost of confidence with your encouragement. Now then, I can't really help her prepare for the thesis defense, so I'll be leaving some notes behind instead. You'll have to give them to her later.
Ok.
Okay, I should get started on those notes. If there's anything you're curious about, you may go ahead and ask now. I can answer you as I write. I'm used to multitasking. Oh, and I have to ask a favor. When you give the notes to her later, please don't tell her about my existence.
Tá, e por quê?
Well, she's always been in a fragile state. If she knew that there was another Layla who's always taking care of everything, she might feel like everything she's ever worked for is pointless, and that could lead to some demoralizing thoughts.
A gente já teve essa conversa antes, moça.
She's a resilient girl.
Quer dizer, Layla 2.
Resilient she may be, no one can hold up to criticism and torment from themselves. If her condition grows any worse, it's possible that I might cease to exist as well. Then there wouldn't be anyone to help her.
Mas ela também não tá bem, ué. Como assim? Não entendi.
She's getting better though, isn't she? It's apparent how hard she's working now. She's my source of knowledge. I'm merely the representation of how she would be if she were rested and healthy.
Descansada e saudável.
I believe that she's one of the best, even in a place like the academia where geniuses come by the handful.
Nossa. Cara, por um minuto eu achei que não tava gravando, que susto. Falei, ué, será que eu apertei o botão de gravar?
But growth is a process and shouldn't be rushed. I will always believe in and support her.
É bom que ela tenha você, senão ela talvez já tivesse caído no fundo do poço.
Believe me, even if she were to end up at rock bottom, she'd find a way to somehow laugh it off as one of her silly mistakes and climb her way out. That's the kind of person she is. Alright, I've written down all the possible questions that I think the advisors might ask. Next, I'll put together a few words of encouragement for her. I'm not going to sign it, obviously. Oh, and don't forget about our agreement.
Beleza. Nosso mini acordo. Elas nunca se encontrarão, mas ela sempre caminhará com ela. Que legal. Beleza, tá faltando só mais um. Tá, agora eu acho que é aqui. Parece que precisamos encontrar uma forma de você relaxar completamente. É isso aqui mesmo.
Completely relaxed? But we're at a cafe. Is this not relaxing enough?
Você tá levando seus estudos a sério demais.
I know, but... Alright, no more buts. My life is a mess because of the decisions I've made for myself. I should listen to your advice this time. How do I completely relax?
Já que você é do interior, por que não a gente não deixa a cidade e vamos passear?
Sightseeing. That does sound pretty nice. I haven't set foot outside the academia in quite a while. I used to enjoy visiting the rainforest, but it's been a while since I've been there. Maybe a lot has changed. Okay, why don't we go there and take a look?
Bora!
Bora!
Even the air here feels more relaxing. I just want to forget about the thesis altogether. I'm just kidding. Knowing me, I'd only be able to forget about it for a little while. This doesn't count as trying to avoid my problems, does it?
Seu estado mental é tão importante quanto eficiência, se você quiser resolver os problemas que você tá encarando. Eu não sei se eu tô sendo chato, mas pô, os textos do Star Wars são tão melhores, velho. Olha como faz diferença um texto localizado, velho. Com pessoas de verdade, né? Não pela do Google Tradutor.
No, it's more of an explanation. Even I'm starting to get bolder with my words. I grew up in a place like this, looking into the distance now with the breeze in my face makes me feel
Olha o sapo passando ali embaixo.
Oh, those were the happiest days.
E o que você costumava fazer quando era criança?
I had a bunch of friends back then, and we would go pick wild berries in the woods. No matter what ingredients we found, we would cook them over a fire, and whoever lost one of our games would have to eat all of it.
Jogos mortos.
No, it wasn't
não vou comentar não, deixa quieto.
It really depended on how lucky you were. Grilled apples and sunsettias are actually quite delicious.
Então vamos fazer uma grelha?
Sure.
Uma grelhinha? Bora. Vamos fazer um churras?
Opa, Pia! Partiu churras?
Apples and zeytun peaches were the most popular fruits back then. Oh, and of course grilled fish is delicious too. A fish skin releases oils while cooking, which drip into the fire and cause it to burn even brighter. But we would always get yelled at by the grown-ups if they caught us sneaking into the river to catch fish. What's the big deal? We just want to swim. That's what we used to say. But now that I think about it, it really was quite dangerous. Thank goodness nothing bad ever happened. I think we found enough now, don't you? Alright, these should be enough. There's nothing like the smell of fresh ingredients. They already smell delicious. I'll be here cleaning the ingredients. Can you please fetch some firewood for us?
Procurar madeira.
Fresh food is the best. I feel like I've traveled back in time. We all used to run around in the woods when we were kids. Trees and mud was the world we knew best. It doesn't matter how long I'm away from the forest, I won't ever forget the feeling of running through the trees. Oh, how about you? Can you relate to that feeling? It's almost like not knowing the world will change or ever expecting it to change.
Embora os aventureiros raramente fiquem em um só lugar, espero poder sentir essa sensação um dia.
Whatever the case, it's a very warm feeling. In the end, I passed the admissions exam, and the life I had led came to an abrupt end. Later, as I sat in a lecture at the academia, my mind started to wander and I began to think about home. It was then that I realized how long it had been since I went back. I can't go back anymore. And other similar thoughts started to come to mind. I guess I'm still not used to being in the academia yet.
Entendi.
You're right. So we should let go of the past. I suppose this is also part of growing up. But reminiscing about the carefree life of being a kid sure works wonders for the mind. You start missing those moments once you leave them behind, and that's part of moving forward. From now on, I'd like to cherish every single day of my life, even when it's not the smoothest of rides.
Eu sei que você consegue, Lailinha. Bora.
I'll take the compliment. A little bit of sugar and a good view really go a long way for relaxation. I thought it'd be impossible for me to enjoy something like this. I thought I'd never be able to get my mind off my thesis. But now, I feel like I'm fully enjoying myself. It's really great. So, what are we doing next?
Bom, vamos andar por aí, né?
You're right. I've been doing research for so long that I'm used to having a certain routine. A carefree stroll. I like the sound of that.
Chegamos aqui na lagoinha.
Wow. I never knew there was such a large lake here. It's so beautiful. The feeling of cool lake water can wash away all your troubles. Can you wait for a minute? I'd like to wash my face. I think it'd be refreshing.
Não quer nadar?
A swim? I can't remember the last time I went swimming. I might not even know how to anymore.
É uma daquelas coisas que você nunca esquece depois de aprender. Eu discordo.
Okay. I'll try to swim over there.
Vamos ver quem chega primeiro.
Wait, no. I'll definitely lose. No. Forget about winning or losing, Layla. It'll be fun either way. As expected, I lost. How would I be able to beat an adventure at something like this?
Fiquei preocupado que você iria se afogar.
Really? Among my childhood friends, I was considered one of the more athletic ones. But that's just like how I used to think that I had a gift for learning. After coming to Sumeru City, I realized that I only thought that because my hometown is such a small place. On top of that, I'm getting weaker and weaker because I'm barely able to sleep nowadays. There's no way I can bring myself to brag about anything now. Please, you're always encouraging me. I'm starting to feel embarrassed, but swimming again really feels great. Every muscle in my body was engaged. I probably wouldn't have to worry about my thesis if I turned into a fish, don't you think?
Vou virar peixe. Let's go.
I'm just kidding, of course. I'm sure fish have worries of their own. I'm quite content with how things are right now. Let's keep going, shall we? There's a mushroom here. You want to jump on it to see what's up there?
Bora.
I haven't done this in a while. I kinda want to give it a try.
Ó, a vista daqui é boa, hein? Dá pra ver a cidade de Sumer aqui, a câmara de jade lá atrás, a pirâmide ali. Bem bonita a paisagem.
We've walked pretty far now, but I barely felt the time passing by. I've been staring at books in my thesis every day. I've forgotten how nice and happy life actually can be.
É por isso que tem que descansar, moça, dar umas pausas.
No matter how much of a hard time I'm having in academics, I should still find the time to look after myself and fulfill my needs. You really understand more about life than I do.
Você gostaria de usar essa oportunidade para aliviar todo o seu estresse?
Release my stress? Oh, I see what you mean. Being at the top of a mountain really does make someone want to yell out loud. But it's a little uncivilized, isn't it?
Já que a gente tá aqui, vamos gritar, vai.
Alright, I'll give it a try. Just promise not to laugh, okay?
Beleza, não vou rir, eu prometo. Vai lá, moça.
What an amazing day! Your body is bubbling with excitement after yelling like that. This happiness was so common as a child, but before I knew it, this feeling was buried in the bottom of my heart. It's getting late. Why don't we rest here for a while? I'll tell you some interesting astrology stuff when the stars come out. Oh, but it's alright if you don't want to listen to that kind of stuff.
Piada sobre a vida.
Tell jokes about life or talk about anything you're interested in.
Vamos deixar a conversa das estrelas quando elas aparecerem.
Okay, then I'll tell you more about me. The only reason I ever chose to study astrology is because of how beautiful the stars are at night. That's all.
É só por isso.
My teacher told me that nature possesses a certain power that grants people an equal amount of kindness and fairness, regardless of the different talents they may possess. And that's why I wanted to call the kind person who's always helping me as the blessing from the stars. The stars in the sky are something that brings happiness to people.
Isso é verdade.
Everything about home is filled
Faz tempo que eu
purity and passion.
não vejo as estrelas no céu.
Of that place are
Não sei se é porque eu moro.
I never want to forget them.
Não sei se é porque eu moro em São Paulo, mas enfim, né? Quer dizer, não em São Paulo mesmo, eu moro no estado de São Paulo, né?
If I were to ever discard anything so pure,
aparecia bastante estrela aqui na janela de casa, mas hoje em dia não aparece tanto mais. Eu gostava de ficar olhando as estrelas durante a noite, era bem legal mesmo.
That's why, no matter how tiring or how hard it gets, I won't let my family down. They are already an important part of me. Yeah, Thank goodness you were there to help me out, or I don't know where I would have ended up. We probably still have a while until the stars come out. Only kids sit around like this, waiting for the stars to appear.
Fofo. É um momento de calma. Me pergunto se ela está exausta ou se finalmente relaxou. Este é um momento precioso. É melhor protegê-lo mais um pouco. Ah, cara, eu adorei essa missão da Layla, velho. Foi bem legal, mano. Acho que a única vez mesmo que eu não... que eu fiz um evento de encontro e não gostei foi do Reizou. Ah, eu achei o do Reizou tão chato. Não sei se é por causa da personalidade irritante dele ou algo do tipo, mas... a da Layla é uma personagem que eu já gostava e agora eu gosto mais ainda dela. Então é isso, né? Finalmente fiz isso aqui. Agora tá faltando só a missão do Bazooka. Vamos até liberar aqui e pegar a chave. Depois eu... starto. Bom, gente, esses foram os 3 vídeos aqui jogando a missão da Layla. E esse último aqui até que deu menos tempo, né? Tava esperando que fosse dar mais. Então é isso. Vamos ficando por aqui e até a próxima.